Hello there, lovely listener. This is just a warning to let you know that this episode of Return of the Giants may contain adult language or adult themes. Hello there, my name's Owen, and I'm the Dungeon Master of our Return of the Giants 5th edition homebrew campaign.
Hi, my name is Matt. I am playing as Niles Silverwind, the homebrew Way of Sympathy monk.
Hi, my name is Ali, and I'm playing Lyra, the Eladrin Spore Druid.
G'day, I'm Brandon. I'm playing Grimmaw, the Molder, the Necromancer.
Hello, my name's Christian. I'm playing Bartholomew of the Liang clan, our Oath of Devotion Paladin.
Hi, my name's Simon. I'm playing the character of Embark, a wildfire druid.
Hey guys, I'm Jared. I'm playing the character of Cassius, the Meloran Orc Eldrith Knight.
Hello there, lovely listener. This is just a warning to let you know that this episode of Return of the Giants may contain adult language or adult themes. Hello! Hello everybody. Hello there, lovely Twitch people.
Everyone.
We are here. It is lovely to see your gorgeous faces. Hello indeed. Welcome back to the Lost Archives. We are here. We are playing Return of the Giants, the premier homebrew Dungeons & Dragons campaign. It is very exciting to see all of your gorgeous faces. We are ready and raring to dive back in. We've got a quick apology for tonight. We are going to be down one player. Matt, unfortunately, is unable to join us tonight, so I will take over the character of Niles for this session. I've been given very strict instructions for how to play Niles in combat. These are pretty expansive, but I figured I'd go through them in detail. He says, please don't let me die. Oh God, please. So I'll do my best. See what we can do with that particular setup. What was up, Jared?
I said fitting.
Fitting, yeah, it is fitting. He's not got a huge amount of health left.
All
So
we're about to come up against, yes.
Yeah. Brandon is also on his way. He's running a little bit late tonight, so he'll be joining us shortly. But everyone else is here. Everyone else is ready and raring to go. Dave's currently smashing an energy drink to really invigorate him. What is your drink of choice tonight? Oh, kombucha.
It's one of my wives' one. It looked really nice. So I was like, it's
Bonsai
nice? Brand. It's nice. It is nice. Would rate.
Okay.
You can taste the apple and the cinnamon.
All right, that sounds pretty good, actually. I really like apple and cinnamon. Yeah. Two of my favorite flavors. I mean, I was going to mock you, Dave, but now I feel like I can't because I also want that really badly. And I'm just sipping the last dregs of my tea here and thinking, damn, I could have apple cinnamon kombucha right now. It is cold enough to warrant a cup of tea, I got to say. The cold weather's suddenly arrived in Queensland. Jared, close your ears for this bit. Dave, close your ears for this bit. Queensland is about to whinge about it being 24 degrees. The cold weather's closed in once again. Up north.
Bro, I think I had a southerly come in the other day, and it was 15.
It's actually lovely this weekend.
27s, 25s.
You
I was
bastards.
working outside. It was suddenly came in. It was 15 degrees with piercing cold winds, and I was working out that in all day.
Damn. Yeah, that is
It was
nuts.
gross.
Yeah, Alice is away in Melbourne this weekend for family, and it's going to be 25 and sunny in Melbourne and 23 and raining in Gold Coast over the weekend. So Alice clearly has taken the nice weather with her.
Take that.
What a bitch. All right, let us do our recap and let us dive into the session. I don't want to keep us too late. Let's get up and running. Previously, the Tempest Adventuring Guild, a name now legendary across the lands of Nostea, has been taking on the threat posed by the return of the Giants. Having braved the unnatural cold afflicting the islands of Northgard, the team are now making their way to the home of the Frost Giants, suspected of allying with the Devils of Cania to unleash the frozen winds of hell. After using their Heartstones to connect to the Frost Giant Svindale, showing him the events of the past and convincing him to help them free his people, the group are now travelling across the frozen sea, hidden away in the stomach of a whale. The plan is to infiltrate Lisheim undetected and then meet up with Svindal and Freyin, the Volker of the Frost Giants, and a possible ally at the Moonpool in the shadow of the Frostmount. We left off last session as the team were dropped off along the abandoned edge of the island to an old shipyard that had long been left to fall apart in the icy winds. In an attempt to sneak in, unfortunately, Lyra's familiar drew the attention of some slumbering Yetis lurking inside the longhouse, resulting in the team fighting for their lives against these lumbering brutes. We left off in the midst of combat last session. An enormous, far angrier, far scarier, far larger Yeti bursting free from an upstairs balcony and landing down right in front of Harry. Two more smashing their way out through the double doors, and I will actually remove those doors from the light overlay now so that you can see inside. Or at least partially inside. Okay, there you go. You can see inside now. Whatever. The map's cool. I think you should be able to enjoy it.
Did my prepared action to shoot
yes,
out the window?
Correct. Your held action does indeed go off, Harry, and that is where we will jump straight back in tonight. I will bring us across to the maps. Should be nicely lined up. Just zoom in one more. That's pretty good. There we go. Fantastic. And I better switch us over to some battle music. Harry, would you like to roll us, to start us off for the night, your held action, which I believe was a crossbow bolt directly at the Abominable Yeti, correct?
Pew, pew. Correct.
Pew, pew.
There's a 28 to hit.
28 to hit. That absolutely, Harry, does hit. Of course it does.
If only I had hacks.
Did you... You were hiding, right?
Yes. So I roll with advantage, right?
Yes, you do. It's just sheer chance the Yeti lands in front of you. It's only because that's directly underneath the balcony. 14 now. We'll take the 28.
That is 11 piercing, 5 radiant, and 16 sneak, which is 32 all up.
I'll do them separately just because I do need to split the piercing and radiant. Awesome. That is brilliant, Harry.
Is one more effective than the other? Or?
I don't know. Maybe. I just need to split them because it's the right thing to do. It's just what the rules say. They say I should treat damage as different types. So I'm just doing that. I'm just, you know me. I'm a rules lawyer.
Would that be piercing then?
Sneak is piercing, yes.
Yeah.
Because the sneak attack is the damage that it's the type of damage dealt by the main attack. So in your case it'll be piercing. But if you got sneak attack on like a scimitar, for example, it'll be slashing. It's dependent on the main weapon used.
Easy. How's it looking? Does it look?
Oh man! As the bolt flies free and jams into the Yeti's arm, you watch as it lets out a roar, smashing into the ground, crushing the ice underneath its feet that you were hiding behind. Before it turns its glowing blue eyes towards you and lets out an ungodly roar. The ice coating across your hair. It doesn't look as injured as you would like, and it looks a lot angrier than you would like.
Harry gives it a wink.
Harry gives it a wink. You watch as the Yeti begins to blush. Is it? No. You watch as the Yeti's unaffected by your wink. Oh, you're a girl, Yeti. No, it seems unaffected. Anything else?
Work as Harry's on
good old 90s reference.
Yeah. I don't think there's anything else triggered by your held action beyond the original shot, so it'll be the Abominable Yeti's go as it launches itself down. Harry, you did indeed draw attention to yourself. You watch as the Yeti immediately begins to lay into you. However, before it does so, it is going to use its chilling gaze against you. I need you to make for me a Constitution saving throw, please.
Yep. That
is
9.
going to be a fail.
I'm going to use my my inspiration to reroll that, please.
Yep, that's a good idea. 9 is definitely not enough. I think that's a good idea.
18.
18. 18
the
is
wink.
enough.
It was the wink. That's what
It was the wink. 18 is enough, Harry. You are able to resist the effects of the chilling gaze as the Yeti stares towards you, watches that blast of cold emanating from its jaw washes over you. You manage to crouch down behind the ice, abating the worst of the effects. That was very, very good. The Yeti then is going to move on and use
It's actually a gaze then. It's actually just a breath.
The specific action is called chilling gaze, but to me that doesn't make as much sense as the Yeti like roaring a blast of ice. So I'm kind of describing it a bit differently because like the way it works is you take damage and you're paralyzed. I could get it if you were like paralyzed by fear, but the cold damage doesn't make much sense unless it's shooting like eye beams. Yeah.
Because I was imagining Harry's head being like eyes on the side. His wing
so he's not affected.
is literally him looking away.
Amazing. Yeah, no,
I'll let you go.
I'll change it to chilling breath.
Yep.
Alrighty, so it's going to make 2 attacks with its claws as it begins to. Oh, no, it'll go. So let's go. Harry, the first attack is going to be that's a natural 20 for the first one, and to balance it out, it's going to be a 12. I rolled a 2 for the second. So the first attack is going to be 23 points of slashing damage, and then 20 points of cold damage. And then the second attack misses.
Sorry, what was that all up?
23 slashing and 20 cold damage.
So 43 all up, did you say? Yep. Damage, cool, nice. Half my health, more than half my health.
These Yetis are scary. The second attack does not hit.
Harry would like to hellish rebuke then.
That's a good idea. And this is fire. We like fire.
Yes, it's fire.
Fire's good.
So I believe it has to make a dexterity saving throw.
Yes, it does. I have not succeeded on that dexterity saving throw unless your DC is a 12.
It is actually a 16, which is actually pretty high.
It's pretty high. No, it definitely fails.
That's 21 damage.
I will mark that off, and it's fire damage too.
That was really good damage.
Yeah, 2 10s and a 1. One of the two of the highest.
Well,
one of the
50-50. It either is or it isn't. That's the chances. Like we all know that. Yeah. So that is going to be 21 points of fire damage. Brilliant. You watch as the Yeti screams in pain, the fire burning across its form, its fur immediately catching alight. It does not look happy about this fire damage at all, Harry.
It doesn't like the fire.
Yep. Fair enough. The other two Yetis.
My turn, but we'll take it.
Yeah, no. Talking's a free action for the most part. The other two Yetis are going to immediately launch themselves into combat as well. The other two abominable Yetis that burst out from the doorway. But could you please make me a Constitution saving throw? And Cassius, could you make me a Constitution saving throw, please?
Yeah, all good.
Cassius. Yeah, you're within my aura. You get a +4.
That'll pass. 17 and 24. You'll both pass. Very nicely done. You watch as the Yetis both let out a bellowing roar, the cold shooting across. They both have to rush forwards to do this as well, I should point out. But the cold is unaffecting you. Whether it's because you've already experienced this from the smaller Yetis, or whether your resolve and your desire for combat, the flames of combat warming you from inside, you are unaffected by this blast. The Yetis are then going to reach down, pull out 2 giant chunks of ice from the frozen pillar beneath them and hurl them towards you. That is going to be... Actually, there's going to be one for each of you because they can throw 2. So let's do this. Everyone's going to get one. Bart, that's going to be that's a 30 to hit you, Bart. Not even a natural 20. Almost 19. That's going to be a 19 to hit Niles. That's going to be a 30 to hit Cassius and a 23 to hit Lyra. I have rolled an 8, a 19, a 12, and a 19. Because they get +11. It is very bad. I think they're all going to hit from the sounds of things.
Are they multi-attacking like boulders?
They're throwing a boulder in each hand. So 2 Yetis. 4 boulders. Each person's getting one.
We'll take that damage.
That's going to be... let me roll that damage right now. That definitely does hit Niles, unfortunately. That is going to be... 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 seconds. I'll be a second.
All right, everyone. While he's not listening. Anyone?
We had a pup emergency. The pup had chicken caught in his throat, but we got it out. All sorted. You guys can hear me?
Good.
Perfect.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. That is going to be 10 points of bludgeoning damage for Bart and 8 points of cold damage. Niles, that's going to be 8 points of bludgeoning damage and 6 points of cold. Cassius, that's going to be... Oh, yeah.
Just because I know that you'll need to do Niles's for us, right?
Yep.
I'm taking off the 6 bludgeoning. I'm intercepting.
Okay, perfect. So he's just going to hit the cold damage. Nice. I'll mark that off now. Thank you. So that's only going to be the 6 cold damage for Niles. Brilliant. Cassius, that's going to be 11 points of bludgeoning damage and only 5 points of cold. Lyra, that's going to be 13 points of bludgeoning and 5 points of cold as well.
Cool. 10 HP took most of that.
Good thing for temp HP. Yep, concentration definitely passes for 22. Alrighty, that is the Abominable Yetis. Cassius, it's your go next.
Okay. Alright. I'm going to move in front of Niles. Move in front of Niles. I've got the Shadow Blade already out. I'm going to... see just quickly. Second wind's fine. I'm going to do a... Yep. I'm going to do an Adrenaline Rush. As a bonus action, I can take dash action. When I do, I gain 4 temporary HP. So just something nice to add on top. Got one more use of that to use. I'm going to move up a bit more. Don't like them throwing boulders, but then hitting me is going to hurt anyway. It's probably better to start dealing with some of these Yetis first, start clearing the chaff before the actual
100%.
massive Yeti. So I'm going to
You're
move
moving
up.
into Lyra's spreading spores. Just out of interest, Lyra, do the spreading spores differentiate friend from foe, or do they not?
Not. They do not.
Cassius?
I would advise against that.
I'll probably go back then. I
just wanted to make sure.
Then, but,
No, that's absolutely fine.
I think I can't. If I go there, then that's taking opportunity attacks. I might just actually stay where I am now, then, and just what I'll do is, all right, I got an idea.
Oh, he's got an idea.
All right, so
Hello. I think Grim's entered the chat right at the perfect time. I was going to have to play your turn, Brandon, but that's brilliant timing. Let me bring you across.
That's 15 feet. That's all right. So what I'll do is...
Yes,
there's a bit
Cassius.
going on, my friend. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the guy in front of me with the chain halberd.
Yep, brilliant.
And I'll chuck a boom blade on top of it.
The Yeti right in front of you is
what?
looking very hurt, Cassius.
Cool. I'll just do a normal attack into it.
Just so you know, like it's very much,
12
it's close to death,
hit.
I would
Probably
say.
Miss.
12 is the DC. 12 will
Imagine
hit.
12. Wow. Okay. 12 slashing damage to kill that one.
Yep, it's dead. How would you like to do this?
Then, yeah. So basically, what's going to happen is I'm going to mastery cleave. So if I hit a creature with melee attack, it's going to then bounce to one within 5 feet of that target. So it's going to hit the one in the back as well. So what's going to happen is I'm going to sort of bring it out of my scabbard, do a few little motions with it to start getting some air and momentum, then have it sort of hit my arm in a counterpoint sort of way, then it thrusts, just sort of almost like thrust it straight through the first one, like, but hits the heart, but like almost like a precise hit, not like gets lodged in there, comes back out. I do some more shenanigans, and then I come in and hit the other one behind it with a second attack. For this one, I'm going to put a booming blade into it because it's at range. So if it moves, it's going to have to move. So, do a booming blade into that. 21 to hit.
Yep, that'll definitely hit. 7 slashing and 5 thunder
7
now.
slashing.
Yep.
And
And
then,
then 9
if it
thunder when it moves. Perfect. Perfect.
So that's one attack. I can move now, actually.
There is a gap between
Like I want-
Lyra's spreading spores and the wall of the longhouse. It's a narrow 5-foot gap, this sort of area that Lyra has infested with spores, but you can sneak through that gap.
There is also Harry right behind us with that thing.
Yeah, and a giant abominable Yeti right there too.
The way I'm just looking at is like probably the main tank. I'm sort of looking at those 2 other Yetis. Maybe Lyra can backstep and help Harry, and then I just keep moving into the big Yetis.
Yeah. Niles will turn towards you, Cassius, and go, Hoot, I have taken some injuries, as he looks down at his ribs that are broken through, blood pooling across his chest.
He's paralyzed, isn't he?
Oh, sorry. Oh, he should have taken more damage, sorry, from the ice. I'll mark the
I'm
extra.
moving in further.
Yeah, cool.
Okay, I'm going to go up here to Bart. Bart, just got to move past you. Just give me a sec. Just shimmy past you, mate. Can you look after Niles, my friend there? He's not doing too crash shot. And I just then jump over you and just smack into another Yeti. I bring out now my my fist. Oh no, my Shadow Blade's out. I'm going to hit it with the Shadow Blade.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. All right, let me see. I made a thing for it, I think. So this is Shadow Blade. I think it is. Is it 8+ to hit? Unfortunately, yes. Oh no, okay, sorry. That's. Oh no, it is 8+ to hit.
Yeah.
It's
Unfortunately,
technically
11's not quite
the
enough.
+1. So it's not 8. It's not +9. It's +8. So yeah, unfortunately, 11 does miss. But that's. Oh wait, no. Hold on. Am I within dim light?
No. Unfortunately not.
Okay. Yep.
You guys are outside.
I moved out of the shadow of the.
Yeah.
No, because originally when I brought out the Shadow Blade, you said there was a lot of dim light around that I could access.
Around the edge of the building and inside because of the way the sun is, but you've moved right out onto the edge of the. It's sort of like within 10 feet of the edge of the building. You kind of like can hide in the shadow of it. You're now. What's that? 20 feet away from the edge of the building. You're now well within the sunlight, unfortunately. Although there is cloud cover because of the storm.
It's up to you. I'm not gonna. I'm happy. If there is a storm.
There's a storm. I'm going to rule that it's dim light everywhere because of the massive cloud cover. I spent a long time describing the eerie
I'm more
storm.
than happy. Yeah. As long as you're happy with that,
I'm
I
happy.
can roll with advantage again, but at the same time, I'm not first.
No, you guys are underneath the
sense.
enormous storm coming from Cania that is now like burning through the portal. You're underneath that portal. Yeah, for sure. 18 hits, absolutely. Cassius, the one below you is more injured. The one right in front of you has not been injured. I just want to know which one you were aiming for.
I would have went for the left one then with that hindsight knowledge.
Cool. Yeah, that's fine.
I didn't actually ask if they were bloody, and I didn't actually state, sorry.
Yep,
but
that's fine.
Yeah, okay, we'll go with the bottom one, and 10 psychic, we won't take the 16, we'll take the first roll.
Yeah, I'll take the first roll. That is going to be enough. Cassius, how do you want to do this?
All right, so I've dispatched one.
Double kill.
Then the chain glaives come up and ricochet again, and hit it. In the momentum, it sort of shouted and roared as it's looked at its gash, and then with that momentary lapse, I've used the spores as cover almost, rushed right past Bart, leapt over some corpses, and then just planted my blade literally in its skull, like deep into its head. And then pull it back out. It's because it's a Shadow Blade. It would probably pull out seamlessly. It wouldn't probably come out with the same oomph. And then, and that's with 2 dead. I might even move a bit more central now. And I'm just bracing myself. I'm still within range of the other one, so I don't take an opportunity attack. And I'm just bracing myself for any other hits. If they want to throw more boulders, I'll take them. If they want to come and hit me, I'll take them. I'm ready to take on the party. I have spores behind my back supporting the group. I'm ready. It's going to fucking hurt though, probably.
Cassius, as you slay 2 more of the smaller Yetis, you watch as the much larger ones Their focus turns towards you, rage building behind their eyes, their bestial faces, the lips pulling back to reveal these long, wicked teeth as they all turn their attention towards you.
And you know what I probably would even do? They're looking at me. I hold out my shields. I hold out my sword. I'm gesturing to them. Come on, then, oh, look at you. God, you smell. You reek. You're ugly ugly big bastards, actually, aren't you? Come on, then, bring it on.
You watch as one of the abominable Yetis, the one towards the north, points towards you, Cassius, and you hear it go, and all of them turn towards you.
Come on now, keep that out of there. Come on, that stinks. It reeks. What have you been eating, friend? Fuck.
If you could speak Yeti, you would know what it just said. Unfortunately, I don't think any of you have the language Yeti. It's fair to say.
Where? No.
Well, actually, I have dark vision.
No.
Lyra, it is your turn next.
All right, so bonus action, I'm going to be definitely swampying up.
Fantastic.
If I can make myself slightly less squishy. Just gonna...
Probably fair.
That's... Up 400. And then I'm going to probably move across... Oh, that's the spores. That might be. Thank you. Move Lyra. And just sort of take a side step, trying to get flanking if I can, if Harry sort of pops back up again, but trying to sort of more even turn the Yeti's attention sort of away from the paralyzed friend.
What do you say / do to grab its attention?
I think just hitting it really, really hard with some blast is probably going to work, but probably just shout out like, you okay down there, Harry? And then I'm going to seriously hope that this hits with a booming blade attached to it as an action.
Nice.
So 26 to hit.
26 obviously hits. That is brilliant.
All right, so that's the 1d10 plus 5, and I still don't know why it rolls twice for that one, but
that's okay. So it's the 4th damage.
Actually no. It turns out I get to choose, so I'm gonna go with the force over the don't mind me.
Yep.
Over the bludgeoning. The booming blade damage is that. So
8 thunder damage
and then
now.
Another 8
later.
if it moves. Then there is the primal strike. I really need to better organize my character sheet. I think it's just 1d8 fire. 1d8.
Fire's good. We like fire damage. 8. Amazing.
That's 8 fire.
Brilliant.
There should be another d6 from Swampy. Not a d16, a d6. And I think the Swampy is necrotic. One necrotic.
1 point of necrotic damage. As the tiniest little mycelium wriggles out from Swampy's pinky and drains the life out of the Yeti's. Yeah, drains the life out of the Yeti's pinky toe. Fantastic, Lyra. As you smash into the Yeti, watch as it turns its attention towards you. Lets out this almost like a snort of derision as it looks down at you.
Hell yeah. So the 8 fire damage is through. And then I'm just sort of going to glance back over my shoulder at Niles and see if I can approximately gauge how hurt he is. Is he sort of
he looks
very
below
bloodied?
half. Not close to death, but he's below half. Let's use the terminology that I insisted on previously. He is bloodied, but he's not close to death.
Okay, cool. I think I'll just be trying to keep an eye on that.
If you go closer to the screen, you might be able to aim that fireball properly. I can see slowly, I see a radius measuring, just getting closer and closer as you measure it.
I don't know what you're talking about.
For those enjoying the video part of this particular episode, you can see a million pink fireball radiuses appearing and disappearing as Grim tries to figure out where he can position the fireball to hit everyone but Cassius. I could literally hear Grim being like,
I mean-
"Oh no, that's too close." Cassius is going, "Nope, that'll burn his dick off. Nope, can't go there. Oh dear."
Most of the
Oh,
six
that's not
steps of the
safe.
return
Oh,
is
that's
just
not good at all.
speculations.
Dear Lord.
Cassius, can you please cover your ears and eyes, please?
And asshole. It's about to get very spicy. Lyra, anything else on your turn?
No, that's it for me.
Grimmaw the Molder.
I don't think what I'm trying to do is.
Can I make
possible.
your life a lot easier, mate? Can I give you this?
Yeah.
Hang on.
Yeah.
Here you go. I'm going to give you a fireball that you can position however you like, and then you can know exactly where you're doing it. Here you go. Where are we?
Does it even
Fireball,
fire in
flaming
human form?
spear, fireball. Here you go. There you go. I'll give you full control, and you can move that however you want.
Oh, so I can just grab this bad boy.
There you go. Everyone should be able to move it, but
look at
mostly Grim, I
this.
need to be able to move it. Is that helpful?
Wait, I'm trying to.
It's not
Wait.
Let me try. Hang on.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, no. I can click on it.
Try now. You should be able to move it. No?
I'm clicking and then. There we go.
He's
that's
figured it
great.
out. Yes. Is that helpful?
Yes. Yeah, that's very helpful. Okay, so is Cassius just going to be in the no zone? Okay.
If you wanted to drop it here,
Big one.
here you go. If you drop it there, Cassius is not in the no zone.
No. I want to see if I could be greedy and I get 4 of them.
You can
Not
only get
possible.
3. Unless you go right
Please don't
here.
try me. I need to have as much health as possible to take all that.
You go here.
If you hurt me as well, it might be a lot harder.
Cassius,
You'll be fine.
I
One of
will
your limbs
say-
is made of metal. It'll be fine. Don't worry.
if you were to put it over the 4
Okay.
left ones and Cassius, he is within range of me to get a bonus to the save. So there's a chance that he takes half damage.
Except Bart will also be in that range, just so you know.
Yeah. Probably not.
Oh,
Oh, no, hang on.
How are you looking,
There you go.
Yeah.
I found a spot where Bart's safe. Bart will literally feel like his beak will be at the border of the fireball as it expands outwards. Just gently brushes his beak.
I look over to
Keeping the
Cassius
tank
and
alive.
I give him a knowing look.
No,
to be fair, I'm not looking at you because I'm looking at 2 massive Yetis in front of me. And I've just gestured to them with my sword and shield, like, bring it on, you bastards. I'm not even looking at you.
I'm about to rock
You're not even in my peripheral vision.
Is the knowing
You're
look
not
that
in my
you know
peripheral vision.
he's about to take a shitload of damage? Is that the knowing look?
You give a knowing look to the back of my head.
I've just got like that little. I've got that bit of like wino and stuff out and rolling into a bowl of lit into fire in my hand and I'm sort of boiling it.
I will say
I'm
this:
looking, I'm
if you
just like,
do this,
Um,
I've now been caught in the crossfire
um,
between you and your partner's spells.
Oh.
You and Ellie have been targeting me. Jesus.
Okay, knowing this history behind
Also,
hours of
probably
Johnny,
don't worry about it.
I just
Don't
had to finish
stress it, I think it's
chicken,
funny.
so that's why I was a bit slow. Delicious.
Ooh,
It
that does sound nice.
was very good. I'm going to not target you again. That's too much friendly fire for my liking. I will, however, I point it
It's funny though,
towards the Abominable Yetis and the
So the
Yeti.
what?
Just
The Abominable
singeing.
Yetis.
You
I do prefer this. I do prefer this way,
Abominable. Oh
this
my God.
radius.
Okay, Abominable.
The abdominal. They're very
They just
ripped
look
around their
ripped.
midsection. They're very
They're very
ripped. The abdominable yetis.
all the way down.
Yes. The gym junkies over there.
Yeah.
Yes. I will
swell
Just a
look
quick
Yetis.
question for you
into
guys.
two.
We should look into getting me
Abominable.
some form of like spell absorption amulet, because then you guys can fling as much spells as you want my way.
Yeah.
Some sort of magical spell evasion from allies.
Something like that. Oh,
How
that's hilarious.
healthy do they look as well? Those
Full health. The 2 big boys,
Abominable.
full health.
They only just ran out last turn.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, sweet, cool. I haven't missed too much then. That'll be a 4th level fireball.
Dexterity saving throws.
In that case,
A lot of ones.
of course it is.
But also a lot of fives.
No. Okay. 5, 5, 13. All fail.
Oh, please.
29 points
I mean,
of fire
that's
damage
amazing.
to each of them. You watch as the smaller Yeti that Cassius was engaged with, that he hadn't yet fought, is immolated, burning to ash in an instant as it is completely erased from the canvas. Let me put that down to... I've been playing a bit of the DLC for Expedition 33. It doesn't show. I'm really keeping it under wraps. As it is erased from the canvas. 29 points to the other Yetis as it burns across their form. They do not seem happy about the sudden influx of fire damage.
Can I just say, for the cinematic purposes,
Yeah.
I've now done my gesture with my sword, my shields, and then this just roaring inferno has come through, and I'm still just there holding my sword up, and it's just like all flames bellowing past me. Oh, amazing! As Grim's just sitting there cackling probably in the corner.
Big metal arm to like shield the flame a little bit. Just
Oh, yeah, I like that. That's cool.
As you move your arm down,
Mad.
Cassius, it's still glowing red hot, the outer plates, as they
Ooh.
brushed up against the fireball, as it sizzles snow falling onto the plates.
If you look over
That
at
was
me, I
beautiful.
just give you a thumb. I give you a thumbs up. A smell of burning hair always wakes you up in the day.
That would be such an experience, like seeing two massive abominable Yetis fire, then looking to the right and just seeing Grim giving me a thumbs up and saying that quote. That is a fever dream.
And then 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I'm just going to move a little bit away over here because I don't like how close that Yeti. Is he in the water or?
He's on the ice. There is no water. It's too cold.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Oh,
I'm
where's
just
the Yeti's
stepping away.
turn gone? Oh, because I deleted the token. Ha!
Actually, maybe a little bit more towards Harry. Yep, there we go. And
Fair
that's
enough.
me.
Okay, that is the start of the round once more. You watch as the last remaining Yeti pup turns tail and runs back behind its parents, jumping over the ice as it moves around. It's going to use its full turn to try and run and hide behind its parents up on the ice floe here, before throwing a chunk of ice towards... Ooh, it's going to be a tough throw. I might have it throw the ice as it's down here at Grim and then rush around its parents to hide. Grim, that is going to be
Wait, hold on.
a...
Sorry,
Yep.
are these their children?
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah, they are.
We're killing
Yeah.
baby Yetis.
all good.
That's
That's
just
quite grim.
you're killing babies right now. Yep. That is going to be... I didn't signpost this very clearly at the very beginning for obvious reasons, because it's quite funny. So that is going to be...
Have a little propeller hat or anything like that.
What was that, sorry?
Didn't come out for like a little propeller hat or anything like that. Looked like a
Yeah,
child.
big lollipop.
or
Yeah.
anything.
Grim, the first throw against you is a natural 1, so that's going to miss. The second throw is a 23.
Can I?
Yeah.
I. In that case, let me double check. Is this an attack roll against me? Would one say? It's
Yes, it is. It's a ranged attack, not a melee attack, but yeah.
When a creature rolls a attack roll against you, I'm using a luck point to put disadvantage on that roll.
I will roll again for the second attack. Absolutely. The second is only a 15. Does that hit you? I don't think it does with your mage armor.
I think mage armor I'm on 15. Let me double check.
I thought you
no,
were
13.
6.
Wait,
Wait,
it's nowhere near as high.
Even with mage armor.
His
Uh,
AC is
doesn't seem
normally
right.
11, I think.
Yeah, I think my AC is normally 11. Yeah, because I didn't really do much there. So mage
Do you have
armor is
shield?
13.
No.
No.
What about counter snowball? It's like counter spell, but specifically for snowballs. Have you got that prepared?
Wait. No, I can use Ice Storm. Do you reckon that'll stop it?
You're gonna have to eat a slog dog to get some health back. This is not looking good for you. That's
I'll have
going to
Slug
be
Dog. I'll have to Slug Dog.
8 points of bludgeoning damage and 3 points of cold damage as the Yeti then runs and hides
Oh,
behind its
thank you.
parents. It is
Guys, really
Niles.
sorry. This is such a off-topic thing. I'm just quickly doing a Coles order. I'm ordering Coles bananas. Why is it Coles bananas and Coles organic banana? Aren't they both organic? You know what I mean?
Pesticides.
So organic bananas probably, I think, didn't have pesticides used at all in their process.
I apologize, but I was just really confused why.
So it's organic is literally just were pesticides used at any point during the creation. That's really the main.
That's what they should say, because everything here is organic.
Yeah. Most bananas in Australia are organic anyway. Most bananas are organic anyway, because there's not many pests that can get into them. The main ones are flying foxes, and like you don't really spray for flying foxes. That's like pretty unethical.
Yeah, sorry. I'm so sorry.
You get your axe body spray out, start spraying at the fucking like 6 meter bat. Yeah.
I had family that used to fish.
Let's jump back in.
Going down the river, they would throw their lure into the trees when there were tons of flying foxes, and they'll just pull a bat out with their lure. That's not very
That's not ethical.
That's not ethical. No,
that's animal abuse.
That is, yeah. I don't.
Speaking of animal abuse, Niles is going to rush over and beat the shit out of this Yeti. The paralysis, actually, let me just double check. The paralysis wears off. The start of the Yeti's next turn, but the Yeti just had its turn because Niles was paralyzed by the smaller Yeti. So it is now. Niles does get his turn now. Niles will rush over, and he is going. Yeah, Niles is going to make a unarmed strike against this Yeti. That is going to be. Oh yeah, I'll make this one so you can see them easily. That's going to be a 28 to hit. That is definitely going to hit. That is going to be 12 bludgeoning damage. You can see this coming through, right? Yeah, perfect. Niles is then going to, as a bonus action, do Flurry of Blows. Let's do... or... He could do Disrupt.
Yeah, don't forget his extra attack.
Yeah, I'll do the extra attack first. Yeah. Let me do that first. I was just seeing what other sneaky things I could do. And I'm wondering if I do a stunning strike on this bad boy too. That's a natural 20 for Niles. That's going to be 12 plus an additional d8. So that's going to be 20 points of bludgeoning damage. Holy shit. Fuck it. Yeah, Niles is going to go for this. As it drops down to being quite bloodied, Niles is going to unleash the flurry of blows. That is going to be 2 unarmed strikes. 1.
Owen, the mantle falls to you, please.
The first, I'm not very lucky with that. The first is only going to be a 15 to hit. That's not enough. But the second is going to be a 20, and that's going to be another 13 points of damage. Not quite enough to do it. Niles is then going to turn towards you. Is Matt sending me a message saying I'm doing I'm being taunted for my lack of powers. That is going to be not quite enough. I don't think Niles has anything else that he can do. Oh no. He can do Flurry of Blows heightened. You can expend a focus point to use Flurry of Blows and make 3 unarmed strikes instead of 2. Oh, well, I'll make the 3rd unarmed strike. Let's go with the last Flurry of Blows. Let's do this. 28 does hit. 10 points of damage. That is exactly lethal. You watch as Niles rushes forwards, punches the Yeti in the stomach, leaps up in the air, kicks underneath its chin, flies over the top, grabs its horns, pulls its head towards it, and headbutts it to finish it off. You hear a sickening crack as Niles' thick skull collides with the Yeti's, and the Yeti just drops like a massive sack of potatoes. Absolutely destroyed. Niles then goes, "I'm still very much hurt," and is then going to move, climb over the top of it 5, 10, 15, and hide behind the ice with you, Harry, and go like, "It's much safer behind here, Harry Hoot." That's Niles' go. But it is your go next.
There's a big one just over here on the other side of the ice.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I know.
Can I use... Because I don't think there's really anything else I'd want to use it for, so I'm hoping that I might decrease the DC. Can I use my bonus action to do a insight check? I want to see the other 2 adults, if they're scared or not.
You don't need to use a bonus action for that. I'm happy to let that be a free action.
Well, I just don't have anything, so I was hoping just using the resource might make it easier.
Those sort of things, like I generally, as a DM, rule things like taking a breath to like surveil your environment, to take a moment to do a check like that, like any of those like standard skill checks, unless it's like going to take you a solid block of time. But if it's just like a quick moment to glance over and focus, I normally let those be a free action. Oh, that's a 3. No, that is not enough. But as you look over, the like 14-foot-4 like tall, monstrous white furred creatures, snarling teeth, blood dripping from their maws, still smoldering as a result of the fireball. You've got no fucking clue, man. These things are terrifying. No, they're not scared. You should be scared.
Okay. Rather than trying to scare them off like the little beasts that were trying to like eat at the Bahia body, Bart doesn't know if that would even be possible with how ferocious these things are. So instead, I'm going to use a 2nd level spell slot, and in a slight sort of like step and gust with the wings, the screech that you've heard a couple times now from myself and Niles, at both of their directions, as a sort of gust of magic is going to flap at both of them. I can't quite fly with heavy armor, but just a momentary leap into the air, graceful and scary, hopefully, trying to command both of them to flee.
Perfect. Let me do... It's a whiz save, right?
Correct.
And they don't have to understand the language, correct?
No, I don't think so. Let me double check. No, because I did it to the Bulette.
I don't think they do. Yeah, I don't think they do. Doesn't say. It just says speak a one-word command to a creature you can see within range. No, you're fine. That is going to be a wisdom save for both of the abominable yetis. You didn't know this, but you do now, because they were set on fire. It has disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks. This counts. Oh, it's a saving throw, though. Never mind. Sorry. Doesn't matter. They're still not very wise. Let's do that roll now. Nah, it's 11 and a 10. Does the smaller Yeti get caught up in this as well, or is it just the 2 big ones?
And no, it only targets the big ones, but I'm hoping because we've already seen it run, if it sees its parents, it might just follow suit. But Flee spends its turn moving as far away as possible through the fastest means possible. So taking the dash action or whatever it needs to, just as the 2 parents are going to get away from us. It's only 1 turn, but I'm hoping this might like
get some distance,
like condition them even. Like maybe they might continue running.
Yeah,
but that's going to be Bart's turn. I don't think there's... I'll get beside Cassius, you know what? Just so I can use interception if need be. Sort of catching my breath, and that'll be everything.
Perfect. Harry.
Yes. Harry pops his head out over the ice to see the one that he's been laying into is dead. And then I don't get sneak attack damage because there's no one against the big ones. So that's lame.
You could steady aim them.
Yeah.
Steady aim gives me advantage. Oh, and then gives me sneak attack because I have advantage, right? Okay. Harry will bonus action steady aim. And then he will immediately fire.
Let's do it.
At the one that is worse for wear.
They're both identical damage because they both took the same damage from the fireball.
Unless you want to kill the baby.
Unless you want to go for the baby, but it will be a little bit harder to hit because it's behind both its parents.
No. Baby's fun. Baby's fun. That is a 17 to hit.
17 will hit.
Yep, and that is 23 piercing all up and 1 radiant.
Brilliant. So 6 piercing for the initial, 17 for the sneak, and then 1 radiant damage. Nice.
And it's Harry's turn.
Alrighty. The abominable yetis on their turn are going to follow the command. You watch as one of them is going to reach down, scoop up its child as it runs. It's still going to flee, but it's going to try and interpret that as like we need to get the family out of here. So it's going to be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, because its action is to pick up the child. It can't go any further than that. Oh, it can go 40 more feet, sorry. Oh, 10 more feet, sorry, 40 total. This one's then going to use its full action to run the full 80 feet. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. There you go. Alrighty. That is the Abominable Yeti's turn. Cassius, it is your turn next, my boy. Boy.
Cassius is pretty honorable. He's not going to charge fleeing monsters or creatures or animals. I'll just going to stand here and I'm just going to start like going to stand there, keep my shield up, just keep my wits about me, of course, peer into the building itself, make sure there's nothing else in there.
As you peer on in, you cannot see any more signs of any other Yetis hiding in there.
Cool. Well, I'm just going to literally wait here. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to antagonize them as they go. Just going to wait. I'll keep my shield up and I'll just keep prepared and just wait. I'll let them
do you want to hold your action? If they make an aggressive move, you can then intercept an attack?
Yeah, I will do that. Yes.
Sweet. Lyra, same for you.
Similar. I'm going to take up a bit of a slightly more sort of protective stance just in front of this block of ice. And then, yeah, the same. I've got Starry Wisp ready. And every time.
The forbidden spell that not Niles. The forbidden spell that what was Matt's character? Yervith couldn't teach you Starry Whip.
Yep.
Yeah.
But no, and then if it looks like they're gonna turn around, sort of hesitate, look back at us, aggressive action, then yeah, I think it's in range.
If
they become within 60 feet of me, then I'll whack.
Oh yeah, so brilliant. Grim, it is your turn next.
Oh, well, as soon as I get job all done, they've turned tail.
Keep in mind, Grim, you would know that this is magically induced. You saw Bart cast command, so you know that the command has now been fulfilled. At this point, they're under no more magical obligation. They may continue turning and running. They may turn back towards the group. You just know that the reason they fled was magical obligation.
Mm-hmm. Yes, I'm just going to ready Toll of the Dead. Similar looking over to Lyra. If they turn around, Toll of the Dead's going to happen to the closest one.
Alrighty.
Sorry, one quick thing is when the Yeti took the necrotic damage from the Hail of Spores,
yes.
Did it look like it did less damage than usual, or
same damage?
Okay, sweet. It was less. I was just gonna walk.
Alrighty, the baby Yeti has been scooped up by its parent. Could I get Bart and Cassius? Could you both roll me an intimidation check? I'm going to take the average of your two rolls. Oh boy.
Oh
my God. Cassius, you're carrying this one, my boy. You just got it. So Bart's got a 6 for us. Cassius, if you can roll any higher than that, that'll be helpful. So, well, substantially higher than that now.
As the baby looks, Bart's hands are on his knees, catching his breath.
All right. I tell you what, I think Jared's had to step away from the mic for a second, but you may roll with advantage, and that'll be Cassius's.
Please.
Cassius will give you the advantage on this. 19. That's a bit better. That's a bit better.
Oh. I'll look up as the baby looks at me and stare daggers, not hold my weapon up.
Behind you, you watch as Grim gets out another ball of twine and begins pouring little drops of oil on it, ready for another fireball. You watch as the little tiny Yeti looks back towards you, all of you, snarling, and then it kind of freezes for a moment, looks up at its parent, and then makes this sort of mewling cry. You watch as the two enormous Yetis pause for a moment, looking back at the rest of you gathered around. They look down towards the bodies of their many, many children and the other adult that has been killed. And you watch in that moment, a decision is reached. One of them, the one not carrying the baby, looks back towards the other. And with that, they both continue running. Straight out across the ice.
Harry keep firing at them, but not necessarily aiming to hit, just to scare them off.
You can, if you want to fire a couple more bolts just to like get the message across, you absolutely can. The message does seem to have been received, Harry. You watch as they have cut their losses and are fleeing this place. Alrighty. I'm going to take us out of initiative. Very nicely done.
No,
I'd like to immediately go inside and see if there's anything worth stealing.
As you rush inside.
When they're running away, it's like a Yeti with a little spinny cap on a lollipop. I'm just picturing that in my head, just on the shoulder.
Yeah.
The big Yeti. Just like, and it's like, no.
Yeah. If you could speak Yeti, the last bit when they turned back towards you, if you could have understood what you would have heard them say is, "Don't talk to me or my son ever again," and then they flee.
They realized they attacked us, right?
Yeah, they were defending their home. You guys like wandered into their like fucking territory. Your meat, you're delicious.
We were just on the docks. And they came on and attacked us. So they're in the.
I'm gonna let you in a secret, Harry. Their intelligence score is 9 for the big ones and 7 for the little ones. They're not very clever.
Actually,
and highly
not bad,
territorial.
though, to be
Intelligence
fair.
is even lower.
Is your
6 and
fair.
5 is when they can't really. 9's actually pretty decent.
They do have a
Hey,
language.
Look, before we start feeling bad, monkeys at zoos are also pretty smart, and they're fucking assholes. So, like,
Yeah.
Well, so are humans. Like, if we're going by that
I mean-
logic, humans are apparently quite smart, and we're fucking assholes as well. No need to throw monkeys under the bus.
Gratuitous.
We've literally taken all the habitat.
Yeah, I don't think the great apes. We should be pointing at them, being like, "Ha ha, you're assholes." When like, I mean, we've literally got them in cages so that we can do that. Point at them, and go, "Hey, you're assholes." That seems like a meta level of assholery, right? Like, it's the next level above.
Yeah. That's existential.
Bart's gonna sort of like crouch. Oh, not crouch. He's gonna like hobble over to Niles and just spend the next couple minutes just checking on him if he's okay after that wailing.
Ow! I took some hits. Hoot.
I think
Uh,
a short
Niles is quite
rest could be in order. If not a long one, would be nice.
I wasn't expecting to sort of like I guess crouch beside Niles to have such a confrontation before the giants. I'll be honest. I am running on empty.
I mean,
Look, maybe we should at least have a short rest, even in this boathouse here. I think that's a good idea. Let's bring him in. Let's bring in Niles.
If this were a video game, I would not get anything back with a short rest. I'm just going to put that out there.
I think.
Not even HP?
Yeah. I think, in all honesty, a long rest here wouldn't be a terrible idea. They know where we are. Our friends are here in the longhouse right now. And I don't think much is going to change with the portal and such like that, and the devils coming through. I think now's as good of time as any, and we know it's secure.
Yeah, likely going to have a few big fights up ahead of us. Not only on the journey over to further into the center of the island to meet up with the others, but
Look,
we've got relative
I think
shelter here.
We might have to accept some losses if that's the case. If we have to do wait, but at the same time, there's no point pushing into something where we're just going to die, either. If we can't, we have to come to this consensus as a party. I'm not too. Look, it's either way. I can make arguments for either one, really.
I think we're mostly on the side of staying here. Niles, Harry?
We have a frost drive waiting for us.
Yeah, I'm fine with a short rest personally, but I get a lot better on a short rest, so whatever you guys need. I mean, one man is in the team, so if the rest of you are in trouble without a long rest,
I can get most of my pals back on a short rest, but I have taken some heavy damage, and I can see the rest of us have as well. And I must say, I do agree with Cassius's assessment. There's no point rushing in to be on time and then just die. That defeats the entire purpose. I think we should use this opportunity in this place of relative safety.
My all of the
I recovered my spells, but I already recovered my spells beforehand, so I can't re-recover them. If that is of any consolation.
I don't get any sort of key and support and thing, these new powers I've been mastering, I don't get any of them back unless I have a proper rest. I'm right now, a sleep is going to make me feel better, and that is it.
Yeah. So
I'm
sounds like that's what we
already
need to
casting Lehman's tiny hut right now.
Not a bad idea at all.
Yeah, we've been taking some decent hits lately, and well, it depends if we want continued healing or not.
Above board, I've got my free Paladin Smite and 9 Lay on Hands points back. All spell slots are used, all other Paladin features are used, all Channel Divinities are used, all Stone Giant Strikes are used. I had saved a couple of spell slots in hopes that we would maybe confront the Frost Giant leader, and then I could use them for that combat. But after seeing the abominable ones, I was like, nah, I can't fucking save shit. We might go down.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alrighty. Grim,
While
as you
we're
begin
setting
to...
up-
Oh, you go, Lyra, you go.
I was just going to say, while Grim's sort of setting up his tiny hut, sort of spending the time, I was wondering if
tiny hut.
Lyra could help Harry do a bit of a search around on either the, the building itself, the corpses, anything worth liberating from the area.
Yeah, 100%.
And also in an effort to figure out what they were doing as well.
I'll just quickly like to also organize the Yetis into some form of just respectful mounds instead of the slaughter.
Respectful mound. I will pile them.
The moment I found out
respectfully.
they were family, I feel bad about it now.
I was going to say, are you trying to use the word pyre? Are you trying to
Does Harry know the market price for Yeti fur at the moment?
pyre?
The market price for Yeti fur.
Would be very warm.
Yep.
Do you want to roll me a history check?
Do you have Robin Hood on your Hearthstone?
He's got polymarket. He's going to look into... Or polymorphic. He's got polymorphic.
That's a 13. Thanks to
13.
reliable talent.
Harry, Yeti fur is quite rare. If you were to harvest some Yeti hides, potentially you could use them to make some magic items for yourselves if you were to take them back to house under the earth. If you were to just sell them outright, you're looking at a couple of $100 gold for a good Yeti hide.
I just want to quickly just nip this in the bud now, just to clear this up. With taking stuff like this from the Yetis and stuff, Meloran wouldn't mind too much, would she?
No. If anything, Meloran
Overall.
would smile upon using the kill. It's more wasteful just to leave them out.
So, right.
Goddess of the
It's
Wild.
more wasteful to let
yeah.
them die and then not be used at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, I figured. So I probably would actually I'd probably help Harry then with starting to get him into respectful mounds. I guess I was going down the funeral route, but I guess maybe the Meloran route's a bit. I think that's actually how I'd probably play Cassius. So you put them in the respectful mounds, and then he would start. And then maybe Harry would come by, and then I would actually sort of get thrown off by it.
I've got Leather Workers tools as well, if that might help with the...
that will give advantage on harvesting Yeti hide. That is very... Are you proficient in them?
Yeah, I think... I'm not sure if I currently am.
Do you want to save that for after your rest? when you can Eladrin bullshit yourself some proficiency.
Let me just double check. I actually might...
Oh, I remember.
Yeah. So one of the things... One of the ways I'm justifying this in our campaign, specifically for Lyra, is that because she's now formed a Myconid circle, maybe she's drawing it from the collective consciousness of other Myconids. She is proficient. I'm going to rule that it's, that's probably because you've drawn it from the collective consciousness of other Myconids, Lyra.
Hell yeah.
If one wasn't to have proficiency, would you just make them roll sleight of hand or something?
You just roll a dex check, because you wouldn't be proficient in the tools. So it would be so toolkits normally just use an ability score
so
plus.
It's not a skill check. It's not a skill check.
It's a skill check, but the skill check is for the tools. So it's a special skill. It becomes its own skill. So we use sleight of hand for thieves tools because it's the same as if you were. Because if you're proficient in thieves tools, it's the same as you rolling a sleight of hand check if you're proficient in it. So that's why we kind of use it that way. But tool proficiencies kind of work
Would my reliable talent help me using a tool that I'm not proficient with?
That's a good question.
So, would the sleight of hand actually be helpful for that? Because you're being more precise, it's the similar kind of precise sort of sneaky movements rather than just flat decks?
Yeah. I'd allow that.
Okay, Harry's happy to borrow the tools and do it because I can lowest I can roll is a 21.
Well, if
I'm happy
Lyra's
to help
helping
as
out,
well.
yeah, if you guys will
Lyra's
help,
sort of very much helping. Like she's saying, no,
We're all
you need
sort
to
of
do
in
like
there.
this. And
Harry, do you want to roll with Lyra's instruction? Roll it as if it was a sleight of hand check, so you have the proficiency benefit because
Yes,
Lyra's kind of
please.
helping you. 21
There's
for the
a
first
21.
one. Yep. You get advantage because both Lyra and Cassius are
cool.
helping with this.
It's a 21. For
It's
the second
21.
one. Reliable.
yeah.
I rolled a 3 for both of them actually. So
Reliable talent. As you harvest the Yeti hides, yeah, Cassius.
I was just going to say, with the abominable Yeti, I'm probably overthinking this now, but for some of the bigger stuff like fangs and stuff, will we need to use more strength checks to get that stuff out? If you want to take that stuff?
Yeah, which
Yeah,
is probably
we'll
where
take
you
it
come
on.
in to help.
All right, no, we'll just go with that then. We'll just do it
Yeah.
all as one big thing.
I don't need you to all roll
That's
like
easy
separate
enough.
checks to be like, now if you're breaking this fang off, that'll be a strength check from
I thought
Cassius.
I was
And
overthinking it.
Lyra is going to remove
Yeah,
this
I knew I
toenail, so
was
that's going to be
overthinking
I'm
it.
going to need a wisdom check for Lyra for removing the toenail. No, I'm happy to have it all roll into one check, and that's how I gave the
Easy.
advantage. Was kind of you helping and Lyra helping.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean,
do
with
they
the
have
three of
anything
you,
special in that
They have
would
anything
been
special
able
in
to do
them?
cold breath? Yeah, because like they can do a cold breath, right? So is there like a special organ,
organ.
or a special thing
with
that,
your
like,
history check,
sells on the black market?
what's your bonus to nature checks? I should have offered you history and nature. Do you get any? Is your nature check higher than your history check?
No. My nature is not high. It's -1.
Then we'll
So,
keep it as history check.
19. It's a
Harry,
9 or higher.
as far as you're aware, magic, some sort of magic. You're not sure if there's an organ involved. Magic.
It's always magic.
DM, would a 25 give Harry anything more with the sleight of hand? I just want to check.
I mean,
No.
once you're over 20 for the like harvesting of hides, the highest DC clearance is like an 18, and then you're just harvesting good high quality hide from the Yetis. That's really all we're getting
Okay.
out of this. But that's still
Yeah,
useful.
yeah.
I mean, as you go through and harvest with the three of you working together, the Yeti teeth aren't worth anything. They're just big teeth / tusks. They're not worth anything.
What about
to
the abominable Yeti?
again, the teeth and tusks aren't worth anything.
Even
It's the
fangs? Anything
hides.
like that?
Yeah, they're just big teeth.
Just
I
the
mean, you
hides?
get it's the
Okay.
hides. Hides are what you're after here. With all three of you working
Alright,
together,
that's
you're able to harvest the hides from all of them. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 Yeti hides and 1 abominable Yeti hide.
Oh, yeah.
Could I ask the three of them?
Can we delete Brendan from the conversation?
What did he say?
What I did?
He did the 6-7 move.
I did the hand movement. 6, 7.
Yeah.
No.
Get him out of here.
No.
I don't want him here. Get rid of him. Ban him.
Mods. Oh wait, I'm a mod.
But I would like to ask the three of them if they can make sure not to forget the horns, because we might be able to give them back to the townsfolk as drinking horns or something, just something nice after all the shit they've been through lately.
Just keep in mind that 3 of these were caught in the fireball, and they are not of the same level of quality.
Ah, well, who's
Potion
that?
making.
Bart did have stuff to do as well, if possible, and
Yeah.
wanted to ask something of Niles. I know Matt's not here, but just very simple. Niles, if you would be able to just safely staying close to the building, we don't want to risk anything, but could you just
Have a fly around. I was thinking the same thing.
A perception check. I want to make sure, if you have a look around, I just want to make sure that there's none of those frost monsters that I saw attacking Meloran anywhere in the skies nearby.
I was thinking the same thing. I will take to the wing immediately and see what I can spot. I'll try and be quick about it, make sure I don't draw attention back to the hut. Back to this
Still come
longhouse.
back to your rest as well. Bart would then like to... we just slept. A long rest doesn't need to be unconscious, does it?
No.
I could just be sitting down. Okay, Bart is going to sit down and is going to pull out the Book of the Gods. I feel like I've read enough
you
about...
guys didn't sleep in the stomach of the whale. You were doing very light activity then. It's now sort of getting to evening now. It's hard to tell with the storm cloud cover. You guys didn't have a sleep. You only had a short rest
Because
in
you
the
have to
belly
remember
of the whale.
too, we also went to the lighthouse,
Lighthouse
as
and did all of
well,
that.
did
And
all
the
that stuff, and then came
yeah, you've done a
back,
few things.
Then
The
went in the
lighthouse stuff, all
whale.
of that though, we rushed that. We got that all done in about an hour.
Realistically, though, that could still take like one.
Oh, it took you like an hour. It took you like 2 hours to get there. Yeah, it took you a while to get there, and then a while to get back as well. Yeah.
It is probably towards the end of the day, actually.
You're in the whale for like 4 hours.
Before sleep or after sleep, or like while the others are skinning, what Bart would like to be doing is read one of those 3 books, the one about the gods. I feel like we've learned enough about the region and enough about the devils at the moment that there's not much more that Bart thinks he needs to study on that. But it's still just plaguing his mind, the warning from Meloran about other clerics and other worshippers, and that we've been running into so many of them recently. But like Cassius is a bro, so like Bart's like, why can't I trust?
And Cassius is really a cleric.
I'm not really a worshipper, though. I'm not a worshipper. I just
you came to us was the god told me to come here.
I had a dream.
I was getting a ping. But like, I guess like when I hear like worship or cleric, like I'm thinking of someone who's a bit more like that's their identity. It's not Cassius's identity.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. In Bart's mind, though, like you would be close.
No,
to
fair
like,
enough.
Like a wandering worshipper, like the god has sent you in a direction.
Yeah.
But with also preparations of us about to go to Eris, I would like to try to read the book on any pages and chapters it has on Arathis, goddess of civilization, invention. The symbol is like a clockwork gear, domains as well of peace and life. A lot of things apparently with Arathis. Also the one that Eris collects the sort of shards of her staff, or has a shard of her staff, and just wants to learn a bit about her, if possible, from the book.
Yeah, 100%. This is more about you kind of like reading and absorbing information. Do you want to roll for me perception or investigation? Your choice. Again, if we were playing Cosmere, I'd have you roll a law or deduction check right now, which are far more suitable skills, but that's okay. We'll make do with D&D. We'll be able to roll Cosmere checks before too long once Mistborn starts.
23. Excellent.
23.
Very helpful.
As you begin to examine the book, Bart, you can see that this is obviously being written by a scholar from. It looks like the scholar. This particular gentleman is located in Oshia. Looks like a Palin scholar rather than an Oxenfurt scholar from the university. Clearly a bit of bias there as well. This is a book that's been written very much after the ruin, and so it's going to be very focused on the gods from a pro-god perspective, whereas you guys have started to realize there might be some stuff pre-ruin that doesn't paint the gods in a particularly good light. As you begin to read through, you can see the description, the histories, as much as you remember them. The story of the giants is very brief, not even a full chapter. Just that the giants opened the ways and allowed the dragons, the dwarves, and elves into the world, and then mysteriously vanished, leaving behind these 3 Eldar races to carve out places for themselves. But the giant tech was malfunctioning, and before too long, others came through. Some traveling from other worlds, some created by the gods, the primordials rising and taking form and shaping the world and making it a home for all the races. The main focus is very much from a human perspective as well. There's a whole bunch of it on there's conflicting histories as to how humans arrived. One story says that it was Arathis, the goddess of civilization, who created humans. Another speaks of some craft plummeting from the sky and humans on board. It's interesting. There's a lot of like debate around how humans arrived on Nostea, but it's all agreed that they were one of the earlier races after the 3 sort of Eldar races to arrive. You get to the section on the betrayal, where the gods turned on each other. Grumush, Asmodeus, the other betrayer gods, turned against the prime deities, the good gods, and the ruin was fought, the battle for the fate of the world. There's a particular section that you can see that discusses the horrific monstrosities birthed by these evil betrayer gods before they were sealed away. Some in the 9 hells, some in the outer planes, some destroyed utterly, leaving nothing behind. And the world has entered an era of peace and prosperity ever since, watched over by its prime deities. Again, this book is the natural propaganda and the natural kind of biases that you see. Reading between the lines, though, and moving back and forth between it. There's a couple of key moments that do stand out to you that tell you things. Even the propaganda gives you some information that's kind of useful. The particular chapter focusing on the shattering of Arathis' staff, Arathis' weapon that kind of like shattered down and created the Shattered Isles. Interesting. It seems to discuss 7 or maybe 8 pieces are generally agreed upon, that it was from witness statements at the time, from the stories that have been handed down, 7 or 8 pieces total, with one of them 100% crashing down onto the onto the mountains near Eris. Since then, there's been many debates over where these pieces are. Some have been recovered, most have not. However, the question is, if you recovered a piece of a divine weapon, a fragment of a divine weapon, would you be sharing that information with the world, or would you be keeping that quiet to yourself? And given they all crashed down around Eris, this author does hypothesize that maybe the Owlin and Aarakocra, the Eris theocracy, have more pieces that they have recovered. There is a question around how many have been recovered by the Eris theocracy. Of course, hotly denied by the current Zishi, that any have been recovered by the Owlin or Aarakocra.
Did it say what shattered it?
It was during a confrontation with Asmodeus. The two of them were fighting, and the weapon, according to this story or this oral history, was shattered by Asmodeus's claws.
Okay. And one final thing Bart, I think, would be looking for now that he starts to see, I guess, like this timeline with Arathis involved in it. Does it notate any sort of either involvement or, if the opposite, jealousy of Arathis when it comes to giant tech, if she's the god of like inventions?
That is a very interesting point. One of Arathis' tenets is to not interfere with the giant technology, which is so counter to everything that she should stand for, that it does stand out to you, Bart, as very odd. Hard to determine whether or not it's jealousy related, and this author doesn't make any assumptions around that. But it is interesting that, I mean, Arathis speaks of letting the ancient technology lie, that there is technology that should be explored and technology that should not be explored, that invention, undirected, is dangerous, and it is only the guidance, her guidance, that helps lead towards inventions that are beneficial for all.
Yeah, it kind of just gives like one, honestly, and fuck, okay, it's a little scarily considering this is like the god, even though there's not really a god, but the god of Eris. It very much sounds like what Owlins are sort of saying to Aarakocrans of like, trust us, believe us, we'll lead you in the right direction. And she's saying the same thing to like her worshippers of like, trust me, like I'm going to lead you in the right direction, and like controlling what she wants them to do and what she doesn't want them to do. That's what Bart reads from it. He sees instant parallels because he's trying to look for reasons. He's looking for reasons not to trust the gods. That's the first thing that jumps out to him of like, she's acting just the same as the Owlin do.
What was your roll again? 23?
Yeah.
One more thing that you do realize. The description of the weapon that Arathis was reading. Some people have described a mighty sword, others a mighty staff. The author also includes a description from a witness at the time that speaks of, rather than a sword or a staff, it was instead a circular disc, almost like a massive gear that Arathis had hovering over her shoulder, that was creating some sort of color and light that she was using to attack Asmodeus. And when it was shattered, that gear was split into 7, 8, 6 pieces, hard to say. But the metal, the description of the metal, a brilliant burnished bronze that glowed with an inner fire. But a toothed, jagged piece of metal, burnished bronze glowing with an inner light. You've seen something like that before that matches that description. You've not seen a broken sword or a broken staff, but a broken gear? Yeah. In the Eris archive, you have seen 3 pieces on display.
Okay. I was actually going to ask, like, if Bart can remember seeing the one piece they have on display somewhere, because obviously, being the Zishi's son, maybe he was like brought to look at the.
This is down in the. This is down in the secret cellars underneath the palace of the Zishi. None but the royal family and those who are trusted confidants are allowed down in here. You remember being taken here as a fledgling by your father, with your brother and with your sister, and shown this and told that it is a mighty relic that the Owlin have been charged with guarding.
Bart is just sort of reading the book, mumbling to himself, maybe I shouldn't have been dancing all the time with Celine. Okay.
Yeah, and if you did ask your father any more questions about it, the Zishi would have said, this is a symbol, a passageway back, a connection to our home in the plane of air, and would not have said any more than that. He wouldn't have given you any more information. But now you're putting the pieces together, realizing, I think this could match the description, or at least this person's description of what Arathas's weapon looks like.
Yeah. Okay, sweet. Thank you.
No dramas at all. Grim, your casting of Leomund's tiny hut goes off without a hitch. Out of interest, are you setting up near the Yeti's existing camp, or are you trying to sort of clear out your own little area in the corner of the longhouse? I will warn you, the musky smell of animal hide, unwashed fur, and rotting carcasses does somewhat detract from the enjoyment you might have by using the campfire that the Yetis have set up already. It's not a particularly fragrant area. Although, Leomund's tiny hut, you can control.
Nothing you said about that is just interesting to me. Like, just, taxes and all that.
And
sort of
Leomund's
stuff.
tiny hut, you can control what it smells like inside. I'm pretty sure it's specifically.
I control the entire atmosphere in here. Yeah, and the atmosphere in here is impeccable. It's toasty, it's warm, comfortable. Got my favorite little port sitting there. Just nice, beautiful night.
In that case, then, Harry, Lyra, Cassius, as the 3 of you walk back from skinning a whole bunch of Yetis and move towards Leomund's tiny hut, you see Grim currently kicking back on what looks like a very small folding wooden deck chair. He has assembled from some of the broken crates, sipping a port out of a fine silver glass. His legs kicked up, bones rattling from his weird chest piece.
I'm wearing my boxes right now, the purple boxes with little skull and
Sleeping
crossbones
hat
on them.
No, I like to imagine it's like the full English aristocrat, 16th century. Like you're in your long nighties. You've got your little cap, your little hot water bottle. Yeah.
100%. Yeah. Yes. Welcome to the humble abode. You're welcome to kick up a foot somewhere.
Chateau La Grim.
Bed. I don't know. Chateau La Grim. Yes, because it's a 10-foot cube, isn't it? It's not that big. Yeah.
It's not huge.
Yeah.
Big on the inside.
Well,
it's not.
Yeah. Can I put bunk beds in there?
If you assemble them, yeah.
Bony bunk beds. Yeah, 100%.
Where are you getting the bones
it's
from?
Femurs old.
The bag of holding that's full of skeletons.
I was going to say a bag of holding. I think I got some skeletons in there. I probably got some bones I can take from the Yetis, and I can use mending to mend the bones together into a bunk bed. And
still a lot of flesh on those Yetis. They just died 10 minutes ago. If you're extracting the bones.
When I make Leomund's tiny hut, it lets you fashion the inside how you'd like. I'm fairly sure.
Does that include furniture? Let me have a look. You might be able to make force bunk beds built into the side.
The other thing I was thinking is before we go into the hut as well, I was thinking if you could use prestidigitation just to sort of clean us all up, because I'm assuming between the fight and the leather working, we do not smell.
I've already done it to myself. It's like if you watch me do prestidigitation, it's like I've just had a steam shower. I'm fresh, beautiful.
And I was thinking, can you also do that to the bones?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Emancipation brings existence around you remain stationary. The spell fails. Yeah, okay, yeah. Creatures and objects in emancipation cast.
You can't shape the inside
objects.
with Learman's tiny hut. Unfortunately, it is just a wall of force that creates a little dome.
It's comfortable and dry regardless of weather outside. Yep.
But you do have Mage Hand.
Yeah, okay. I do have Mage Hand.
Do you want to? While you're doing that, I'm happy if you command your Mage Hand to assemble some little bony bunk beds for you with the broken, with the wood that's available as well from the broken barrels. And
I believe I've never thought about using Mage Hand in that way. I've always just been like, it's just an extension of my body. Together, I can just use it to do simple things.
This may sound crazy, but as a mage, you can use it as a hand.
You know what? Yeah. I've had it for a while. Really use it. It's very handy. Put them.
It's at this point Niles swoops down, having investigated the area around Bart. As you sort of finish reading through that section of the book, Niles lands in front of you, flapping off some snow from his wings, fluffing himself up a little bit. The horns... what was that?
No, in character. Anything?
I mean, I did see some things flying high above in the clouds, but nothing that nothing that saw me, nothing that seemed to be a threat for us right now. I did get a bit of a glance at the mountain. What did Svindale call it? The Frost Mount or something like that. I think I got a glimpse of where the moon pool is in the shadow of it. It's not too far from here. Maybe 2 hours walk, 3 hours walk through the forests, through the snow. It is quite deep though. It's going to be hard going, and I didn't see any paths that we could take. But I did get a bit of a glance at the Frost Giant harbour beyond, and I must say, there's a lot of them. 9 ships pulled up. Each one could have held 20, 30 Frost Giant warriors. We're going to need to be careful when we head in.
Okay. Get some rest.
Yes, I'm very hurt. As Niles looks down at his cut open chest. Niles is then going to move inside the Leman's hunting. Very nice, Grim, and then just collapse on the ground. Just lie down.
I prestidigitation him as he's on the ground.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, yes, you're more than welcome. You smell beautiful, like lavender.
Oh, lovely. I'll make some tea in a moment when I'm not dying.
We can arrange that. Yes. Just rest, please. Lay down. Relax. Enjoy.
As he coughs up a bit of blood on the side. Niles was down to 23 hit points in that fight.
Yeah.
Closest he's been to death in a while, I think. Yeah. Not quite single digits. Would anyone else be doing anything before you take a long rest? Yes.
Harry would like to
Clean up the party.
do a deep look around the area. I mean, these Yetis might have had hoarding tendencies. Are very smart. Might have found something good and not knowing what it is.
A hoard.
Better understand why they were here and what were they doing. It was just a place of shelter.
These Yetis did seem smarter than your average Duke Neverember voter, but I do have to say, there are opportunities here to find some good stuff. Do you want to roll me an investigation or a perception check, Harry?
Yeah.
What is wrong with Neverember? Amazing leader, by the way, of Waterdeep.
For those who've watched Tyranny of Dragons campaign, you know exactly what's wrong with Duke Neverember. Also, he's dead.
He's not corrupt. Wasn't.
I guess if you're very openly corrupt, is it still corruption? No, it is still corruption, yeah. 19, Harry, on the perception check. As you begin to walk around, this old longhouse, this old boathouse, this Frost Giant structure with the massive longship that has been left half finished, half repaired. There are barrels in the corners of the room. The Yetis have also gathered some things together as well. And as you go through and begin to examine the area, you do indeed find a number of things going over everything. You find, going through the items here, could you roll for me a D12, please, Harry? Actually, can you roll 2 D12s for me? And then I'll also need 2 D100s.
That's a 4 and a 10 on the 12s. Yeah,
Yep.
you can see them.
Okay.
Blue dance.
The 4, there is a dented metal helm belonging to a frost giant. It is enormous, but It looks like it's very well made. Not magical from the looks of things, but I mean, it could be worth a bit of money. Excuse me, the metal that it's being forged from. What was it? Yeah. You've anticipated my question. I anticipated my next point. It is made from the giant alloy. The fact that it's been dented is also very interesting, Harry. You were unsure of what type of force it took to damage the giant alloy. You've now seen a few things able to do it, but whatever this frost giant was up against was pretty impressive. You've also been through the dream. Harry, you actually recognize this helm. You've seen it before. This is Jarl Ulfric's helm. Dented, damaged, one of the horns has been broken off, but unmistakably, this is Jarl Ulfric's helm.
Hey guys, check out what I found. It was in the bureau. This is Jarl Ulfric's.
It was on the long ship, tucked under a bit of hide.
Oh yeah, it wouldn't fit in the barrel, would it? Yeah.
Not quite, but I thank you for offering some free roleplay for me and some improvisation. That was very helpful. The other things you do find in a barrel, you also find 270 gold pieces worth of random shit throughout the barrels.
270 gold pieces.
270 gold pieces worth of random shit just throughout the barrels.
Oh yeah.
Including Harry, with your perception check of 19, stashed away in one of the Yeti's tents, the one towards the south, is a large, very human skin looking bag, as in like tanned hide made from human skin. It still has like a face partially on it. It is horrific, but it is full of gemstones. All up, it looks like one of these Yetis was collecting shiny things. It looks like the shiny rocks. You count there are 8 gemstones in here. 3 emeralds. Doesn't matter. Don't worry about writing down the different things because you'll probably convert them to gold value. But yeah, 3 emeralds and 2 sapphires, 3 rubies.
Are any of those custom requirements for my teammates?
I don't think so.
Diamonds.
Diamonds are what you're after. But each of these, Harry, is worth 400 gold pieces to the right buyer. Okay,
so I should write down. What should I write down?
8 gemstones worth 400 gold pieces each.
Okay. 8
That's easy enough.
What's the equivalent of a Lambo in D&D?
It would probably be. There are airships. There are some like single person airships, racing airships. That would put you back. Like you're looking for the sport model, yeah, Grim?
Oh, obviously, yeah.
That would put you back 280,000 gold pieces for like a small, crude, like single-masted racing airship.
How many?
Okay, so
280,000 gold pieces.
Okay, here. So
Grim's looking top of the line.
3,200 all up, right?
Yeah.
You said 8 gemstones at 400 each.
Correct. At 400 each.
Okay, to the right buyer.
Yep. The random stuff that's in there that's worth a bit of stuff that's in there as well. The stuff that you find that's like the random stuff. There's some chains, some rope. There's some, where are we here? What looks like some sort of like strange like metal fixtures used to create. It looks like some sort of like hunting equipment, like metal fixtures used to attach massive like spears to the sides of boats to harpoon whales. It's more the metal that's worth stuff. The other stuff that you find as well that is interesting to you, the last thing that's interesting is a small bronze gong. Again, looks to be quite well made. There's a symbol, what looks like an intertwining snake eating its own tail, forming an infinity symbol or a figure 8 on the front of it, and giant runes around the outside. It's obviously a small gong for a giant. For you, Harry, it looks like it'd be a fairly good shield. It's quite like it's large enough to be a shield.
How do you say Ouroboros and giant?
Ouroboros.
Does Harry use shields?
Ah, okay.
I can't because I can't shoot my longbow with a shield. Right? That's how you play D&D, right? Longbow's a two-handed weapon.
Yeah, correct.
Does it look like it would?
Actually, technically,
Lyra?
it could be. Yeah, it could be a shield for Lyra. the whole druids won't use metal stuff. We've discussed this on the stream before. I don't use that rule. I think it's really dumb. Like druids won't use metal as a roleplay requirement. I don't understand. Like I get why some druids might not want to use things mined from the earth, but then like the circle of wildfire exists. Surely druids don't want to burn stuff. Lyra's a spore druid. Surely druids don't want to rot things. I've got feelings on it.
Yeah.
I would think that a druid would find it less wasteful to use an already mined metal shield than to, like, maybe you wouldn't like commission metal to be mined, you wouldn't have something new be made, but to recycle existing metal into something you can use makes way more sense. I'm happy to allow that. That just, yeah.
And plus, like, would a druid not just go to the riverbed, collect some clay, and then just like, you know, take that clay and refine it and take the ore out of it and make, like, you know, iron or something out of that? Like, you don't have to dig up the earth, you're just taking the silt from the riverbed. Like,
it's one of those things where, like, I get what they're trying to do with it, but I always find it like anything that restricts player freedom and player like roleplay opportunities for no real mechanical reason, apart from like, yeah, I've never been a big fan of that. So I'm happy, Lyra. If you look at that and go, yeah, I'd love to use that, you can use it. That's fine.
As long as there's nowhere else that would get more use out of it.
Harry would like to just, first of all, inspect it to make sure it's not cursed. Or, like, if something gonged it, nothing would happen, right? Like, it's not like if you hit it, an earthquake happens.
Wait,
it has a maker's mark on the inside that says fair trade metal. So you know it was reimbursed properly.
Organic.
So, ironically, small world, unless this was prepared. But other than a harp, which Bart has played during our rests, I'm actually proficient in gongs. I thought it was very like Asian Chinese, and so I was like, yeah, war gong. I'm going to be proficient in it.
Is it a weapon?
I don't know. But I know how to play it properly.
The most random thing I've heard. I'm proficient in gongs.
I'm gonna make a really contentious statement here that'll put me on the bad side of every pitched percussionist that we know. I don't think you need proficiency to play a gong. Just saying. Like, let me be clear. There are certain percussion instruments, a lot of the pitched percussion instruments, that take great skill and great ability to use. Glockenspiel, timpani. I don't think the gong's one of them. Is all I'm saying. I say that as a saxophonist, and we know we're better than everyone else, so it's okay. I'm allowed to say that it's fine.
Do they like ring the I don't know, the mallet thing around the gong to make like a sound as well as the hits?
Gongs you can't because of how they're attached and suspended.
Yeah, right,
yeah, you're thinking of so some steel drums you can do that. Obviously, like Tibetan singing bowls you can do that, but like it's the way that it kind of sits. Gongs are suspended. It's very hard to kind of do that.
Okay,
but that's where the skilled gonger comes out, and they can do
a gonger. Is that what we're calling them?
The technical term, it's a gonger.
The technical term is a gonger. Yeah.
That's the verbiage, yeah.
A gong sophanist is also pretty good.
Well, look, if everyone's okay with it, Bart will play the gong for his musical part of the rest to give everyone the inspiration and everything.
Is he banging the gong?
Trying to relax.
Even before that, Harry checks if it's magical.
Yeah, do you want to roll me an Arcana check, Harry, or investigation check?
I'll just tap my eye of my wand.
Yeah, that works too. Harry, as you use your
risk of killing you.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll allow it. As you use your wand of, is it the wand of detect magic, isn't it, that lets you see?
Yeah, bippity boppity boo stuff.
I forget you keep calling it that. It is deeply disappointing every time.
Yeah,
the shield is indeed enchanted with magic, Harry. From the looks of it, transmutation magic.
That's not a good thing to have, right?
I mean, it's not like necromancy where you're like, nah, this is bad. Transmutation, like, to give you an example of what kind of things fall into the school of transmutation.
Necromancy is just negative energy. It's yin and yang. It's not bad.
No, it's just the yang.
It's just the yang. So, and it's yin, not ying. The kind of stuff that falls into transmutation. Yeah, don't let me catch you saying that shit again, Brandon. There'll be trouble.
Can I do
so
an Arcana check on top of it then?
Yeah, 100%.
see-
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But the kind of actually no, I'll wait until you've done your Arcana check before I tell you what
Yeah.
spells the transmutation. 13. Okay, no, there's a few that you.
Reliable talent again.
Some of the things that you would know, lower level spells like Bark Skin that give you a boost to AC. Spells like Catapult, first level transmutation spell that can fire something and throw it. Control Weather at the upper end, an 8th level spell that lets you take command of the weather. Transmutation is kind of like a bit of a catch-all school that kind of fits a whole bunch of stuff that doesn't necessarily... Generally, it's focused around like transforming the self. So things like Alter Self, Fly, that kind of fits in there. But then it's got some other stuff that's a bit random, like Gust, for example, that kind of fits in transmutation for some reason. And like, well, Jump makes more sense. Like Heat Metal is transmutation.
You're turning the metal into fire.
Well, are you though? Yeah, I would have thought
Turning
surely that's
the metal into
abjuration,
hot
but
metal.
whatever.
Maybe you're
Long
vibrating
Strider,
the
that makes sense.
Metal.
Mending is transmutation, so it kind of fit. There's a lot of things that fit. Mold Earth, Lyra uses transmutation whenever she uses Mold Earth. Shape Change, Shillelagh's transmutation. So there's a whole bunch of stuff.
So what's this one?
You don't know.
With a 13.
You don't know.
Okay, cool.
You know
Yeah,
that it's
right,
enchanted
right.
with transmutation
Someone who
magic.
could-
though.
You
There's
could
a bit of
ask about
magic on
magic.
this. So, yeah, I'll leave it with you.
I
It
can
could
learn
be
what it
used as a
does over the
shield.
rest while playing it, and then we can decide who it best suits after.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, that sounds good.
What? Do I have? 1 second.
Hello.
As long as a shield, I'll just put that there.
If it's helpful to you, I can I identify this magical properties of this item here into exactly what it does. As you've quiet, it's not going to quite curse you, but I'm sure it's helpful to know what it does.
Yeah, sure.
Leave it with me. I'll sit my port. I don't mind. I've got not much to do before I rest.
I was also thinking just completely different topic, sorry, but watch order. Grim, you also do trance rest, don't you? You only need the 4 hours of sleep?
Yes. I don't sleep much. No.
Well, I was thinking Grim and I can probably take opposite shifts, and then we pretty much always have one person on watch so that the rest can get the full rest in sort of a shorter amount of time. If that seems like
good.
it could work.
That's what elves do best. Yes. I mean, yes.
Is there any chance we'd be able to find out what it does tonight?
I guess you
maybe
could use it.
11 minutes, and I can tell you.
I
I can cast Identify on it. There'll be as a ritual. They'll take me, or I can do it straight away because I'm going to rest anyway.
well,
Either or.
you can still do it in 10 minutes. I don't think we need to wait 10 minutes in real life. That's what I'm putting out there.
No, that's just. I've got my watch.
Grim. As you cast Identify on the shield, you immediately learn its properties. The shield has been blessed with giant magic. The runes around the outside are an activation sequence. When the shield senses incoming projectiles, 2 things happen. The first one is it slows down the speed at which the projectiles are moving when they are fired at the person wielding the shield. So whoever holds it has resistance to attacks made with ranged weapons. So if you're holding the shield, it works as a normal shield, and you also have resistance to any ranged attacks from ranged weapons. However, there is another part to this shield. I wouldn't call it a curse, but strictly by definition of the magic item, it is listed as a curse. But the shield also draws in ranged attacks from a nearby area. It doesn't just target things attacking you, it targets things attacking people near you. Any ranged weapon attack that targets a creature within 10 feet of the person wielding the shield, you become the target instead. It like pulls the arrows towards you.
Hang on,
Yes.
is that specifically listed as a curse?
It is specifically listed as a curse on the item
Is the-
description.
Is the other effect also listed as a curse, or is that
No.
separate to the curse?
The resistance to damage from attacks with ranged weapons is the normal ability. The curse is like a special thing underneath it. I will say as well, Grim, it's not a bad curse. That's what I was trying to say. Like, it's not necessarily a bad curse.
Yeah, it's good. Like if you want to be the
I mean, it doesn't help when I'm shooting enemies next to Lyra.
But I can resolve it of that. I mean, it would literally only take me about 6 seconds. I can just, get that curse to fuck off.
Attuning to the item will give you the curse, but if someone casts Remove Curse, the negative effects of the shield are removed and you're left with only the positive.
Does the item itself require attunement?
Unless you want to be a pincushion.
Does Lyra have...
It is open for that, yes.
A lot of tattoos and shit? Yeah, no. Maybe Bart will use it.
Yeah. Does Bart want me to get rid of the curse anyway?
I don't think so. I've got a really high AC, so I think just a little bit of teamwork.
And the resistance applies to all ranged weapon attacks. So any, even the ones that are drawn to you from nearby. Friends
this
or
is
foes,
the idea. I'd want to be near my companions with the aura anyway. So it kind of just feels like another protective aura as far as Bart's concerned.
In that case, then Bart, please.
When Bart attunes to it, can I just throw little bits of paper near him and just see if they just get magnetized?
They do. Any ranged things, as soon as they come within 10 feet of the shield, hover for a moment and then pull towards the shield, slamming into it.
I'm like the fourth one, like an upset sibling. Bart stands up. Stop it!
Each time it does, you hear a gong as it does each one. How many do you throw?
Bart, you look thirsty. Here's a drink, and I throw a drink up in the air.
So you throw the water up. The water's not technically a ranged attack. The water splashes down on top of the
room. Okay. Okay, damn. Well, at least we learned our limitations here.
But you may add to your inventory. This is a magic item. You may add it to your inventory. It is called. I'll pull it open again for you. It is called.
I think I found it. It's very obviously named. Arrow catching shield.
No, that's not it. That's no? I don't think it's that one. It's the shield of missile attraction.
Never mind.
Oh, even better.
That sounds much more sexy.
Yeah, the arrow catching shield. The arrow catching shield is the better version of this, where you get to choose whether or not you get targeted. This is the less. This is the more cursed one. In addition, Bart, this functions as this is a giant's gong that's been modified into a shield. It does count as a musical instrument. You have proficiency in gongs for some reason, so you can use this as a musical instrument if you like as well.
It's the perfect instrument for Bart.
It's the perfect instrument for Bart.
I didn't realize this when you did it, but.
Yeah, I'm gonna pretend for a second that as an all-knowing GM, I knew about Bart's gong proficiency, which is why this magic item was in that bag. I knew what I was doing. This was planned out. I wrote this up in the script 10 years ago, and so now we're here.
Wait, so it didn't matter what I rolled.
I just get you. I just like the clicky clack sometimes. I just like the sound the dice make. No, that worked out very well. I didn't know you had proficiency in gongs. That's excellent. Well done. That's
there is no
excellent.
play agency in this game.
Yeah, yeah. I don't like railroading, and so I only railroad. And stick to the script more carefully next time, Brandon. Yeah, that's fantastic. Anything else you guys want to do before your long rest?
Not for that.
Beautiful. You may all benefit from a long rest. I'll do it for Niles as well, so he can have his long rest.
While Harry had his magic eye, he just wanted to have another look around the room before he went to bed.
100%. Harry, as you have a bit of a look around the sail of the longship, which you haven't really investigated too much, the sail, which is kind of hanging partly tattered from the broken bow of the longship, is also enchanted. You can see that it is enchanted with, again, actually transmutation magic.
Can you remind me, is this a giant ship or is this a normal?
It's a giant ship. It's enormous. Okay. I can tell you the exact length of the ship because it's on the map.
So the rope would be like thick with 2 C's as well, right?
3.
Okay. So I wouldn't be able to cut it down and take the sail in my bag of holding.
Not very easy.
That'd be like an all-night thing. Okay.
So this long ship, which isn't even particularly big for frost giants, this would only fit like 8 or 9. The ones in the harbour are way bigger. This is still 240 feet long. It's still pretty big for humans. And Harengon.
Would I be able to cut a bit off?
Yeah, 100%. You can cut off a section of the sail. As you do so, you watch as the magic fades from the cloth.
Harry cusses under his breath and goes to bed.
Cool. That is the only other thing that
just-
glows with magic to your eyes, Harry.
I think Grim and I are probably just going to be trading off watches just so that someone's keeping an eye out on things for the
I
duration.
think it's a good idea. It's a very, very good idea.
We're bunk buddies. I'll let
I'll
you have the top bunk
I'll
because
probably
I'm
up it.
courteous.
No, I'll probably up like 2 hours as well in one of those just to help out, like just as
Easy.
I'm doing some general maintenance of my weapons and armor.
Brilliant.
Actually, Harry would like to take a carrot out of his horn.
Out of your
on tea
cornucopia,
with
your
dinner.
malfunctioning cornucopia. Yeah, roll me
Let's
D100.
go.
Oh,
Let's go.
I'd like to take one out for
carrot.
each one each for each party member.
Oh, does that
I'm
mean you
gonna
have to roll it multiple times?
60 100s then, please.
Yes.
while we're rolling that, there is something we could end tonight on.
Yeah.
Bart did have one final first level spell slot left. Remembering the promise made and the plans, he'll go over to Harry before going to sleep and just put that onto the metal gauntlet with a protection from good and evil so that he can try another communication with Figment tonight.
Alrighty. As you head over towards Harry, Bart, you can see he has his cornucopia, this almost like a carved goat's horn decorated with painted symbols and gold inlay. As Harry reaches in and pulls out 6 carrots, one after the other. The carrots range in quality. The 15 is floppy. It's quite hairy. It's not very appetizing. But the 85 looks quite nice, quite crisp looking carrot. Again, still not the perfect carrot yet, Harry. You know that at some point you're going to draw the perfect carrot from this
If
cornucopia.
Bart reaches in, does the carrot come out, or does it only work for Harry?
I think this only works for Harry.
I actually don't know.
Let me have a look. I've got the details here.
Important
This is
questions.
let me have a look.
You pull
So
out
the-
a turnip. What the hell?
The
Oh.
85 goes to Lyra. The 265, the 2 mid 60s go to Bart and Niles.
Yep.
I know what's happening
Who
here.
gets the hairy
54 goes to
floppy-
Cassius. I'll take
Yep.
the 23 and the 15.
Grim gets Harry's floppy
Yes.
hairy carrot. Perfect.
Oh,
Nothing to
thank
read into there, ladies and
Yes.
gentlemen. But as you reach into the cornucopia, what are you thinking of?
He's the carrots. He's like, you've got a bag of carrots.
Can I get a D100, please? If you roll a 1, if you're the one who rolls the 1 on Harry's cursed cornucopia, I mean Harry's excellent special cornucopia.
No. It's 78.
78,
Oh,
pull out a reasonably
it's
good carrot.
It's okay. I just wanted to give you a chance to connect with Figment one more time, just before we obviously head off to fight the giants.
I like how you watch as Harry sort of like munching on his carrot, takes a moment to respond.
Starts
sorry,
pacing around space.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
Harry's
starts pacing around the space.
I just wanted to give you one more chance to speak with Figment without the prying eyes of Mephistopheles before we confront the giants. That's all I have left tonight, and I'll put that in.
Harry receives it and connects with Fig.
Harry, what do you need?
Hey, Figs. Well, we got a bit of protection from Bart, so I thought we'd give another go at scanning through your data to see if anything sticks out is modified, and try to figure out what they're trying to get us to not see.
Indeed, I can feel the energy from Bart. This is sufficient to block.
He's a good lad.
A good lad, yes, a good friend. I have spent some time while you have been traveling and fighting, investigating to look through what I can find. So far, examining the events of the past that we have lived through, the giant dreams as you call them, I am concerned that this devil's influence extends far further and far further back than we had previously anticipated. There are records that seem changed to what I think I remember. Records about the ways in which the paths between worlds were opened and how they were chosen.
It's concerning. Do we have any chances of seeing what the original footage should have been?
Yes. You need to get me closer to one of these portals. This one here on Lisheim is a perfect example. If you can get me close enough to it, connect me with it, I think I might be able to learn more.
In right before we do that, we should probably get more protection from Bart, right?
Yes. And anything else that you can provide, we will be very close to the Devil's Realm. This portal opens to Cania, and if we are correct, and this is indeed the interference of an archdevil, Mephistopheles, a first-level spell slot, the minor magical energies may not be enough to protect me. We may need something more beefy, as you would put it.
Oh yeah, you speak my language now. What do you think the chances are this is all a trap and that's what the archdevil wants us to do?
From what I understand of devils, they have plans within plans within plans. There is every chance that this is a trap, but every chance that if we do not act, things will be far worse. If it is a trap, I don't see how we have any choice but to spring it.
Yeah, I'll talk to the others in the morning while we're walking, and we'll see if we can come up with a plan. But it's good to know. And you let me know if there's anything we can do to fortify your defenses ahead of time, yeah?
Will do. There is something else, Harry. You asked me to reflect upon my earliest memory. The sound, the light, the song. There is more that I have remembered. Nothing that I could describe as a visual or audio, but a feeling. I felt something, an emotion at the time.
What emotion was it?
Sorrow. I thought it would be fear. Yes, grief, almost. A deep sense of sorrow. I thought it would be fear or anger. I am surprised by this, and it does raise another interesting point. Perhaps I was bound to someone else then? Emotions I thought were new to me through our bond, but I had emotions back then as well, strong ones. I think I was more before.
Yeah, well, go on.
The music we're talking about, is this sound that happened when the stone giants disappeared? Okay.
Anger and fear usually come from sorrow. They come from these emotions. Do you still feel grief and sorrow?
More and more with each day as we grow. As our bond deepens, I find myself feeling more emotions, thinking more divergent thoughts from what I did before. I still feel something out of reach, like a deep well. It hurts, Harry. That pool of sorrow. It hurts so much.
Yeah, well, look, I'm not great at talking about feelings. Back home, we didn't really. We just kind of pretended everything was all right until it wasn't. And but I mean, that didn't work out very well. So if there's anything I can do, and all of us, we're all here, and we can work through this sorrow and grief and process it with you. Right? You're not alone.
Thank you, Harry. I feel comforted by this. It is nice to have friends, to have people I can trust. Thank you, Harry.
Yeah, no worries. And if I ever make jokes about stuff, it's how I deal with some of these uncomfortable feelings. So
You can deal with
don't
jokes.
Let me take
you
it
can,
as
you can deal with
dismissing.
sadness by joking. Is this effective?
Yeah, only for a while.
We're going to teach artificial intelligence about gaslighting.
Or gaslighting yourself.
Gaslighting yourself, yeah.
With that, Figment falls quiet once again, Harry.
Harry
What to
will
think
tell
about.
Bart and the rest of the group about it, and yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, I think that might be a good place to wrap up for tonight. As you will benefit from your long rest, we will dive straight back in next Wednesday as you begin traversing the snow-covered landscape of Lissheim towards the moon pool. Lyra, the things you've written in chat, we're going to talk through those at the beginning of the next session. In answer to your question, no, the sail is not too big that if you were to cut it down, you could use it to fly on a air-powered sled. The only thing that might be a problem is the sled moving through trees and the undergrowth. You might have to design this a bit more like a sand sailor from like Avatar: The Last Airbender, which is, I think, is what you were thinking of. Yeah. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Alrighty, well, that is where we'll wrap up for tonight, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. We will see you all in the next episode of Return of the Giants. We've got our Cosmere RPG set in the world of the Stormlight Archive on Monday nights, and we've got our other D&D campaign, Tales from the Yawning Portal, on Tuesday nights. This weekend, on Saturday, I will be doing a Skyrim playthrough on Twitch. It is Skyrim Brainrot Edition. I have every shit mod that I could find, every meme mod that I could find. The plan is to play until I have some sort of medical episode as a result of what I am putting into my brain through my eyes and ears. Come and join me. It's going to be a whole thing. Obviously, the Dagoth
thing is there going to be Italian brain rot there or something?
It's a pretty spicy mod list. Obviously, the Dagoth follower mod is there. The Gen Alpha intro is in there too, where they like yeah.
Have you considered playing for the stream the Kaisel Online, the Skyrim roleplay?
No, I've never heard of this before.
You know how they've got like GTA roleplay? The developers of Skyrim Together, where you can play a 4-player, have made it a 700 pop server that works perfectly.
And I would roleplay. I would roleplay as a character in that.
The last week, there's no NPCs. The players are filling those spots and having fun, and it's as popular as GTA RP this last maybe like week.
I might need to look into this. I'll keep you posted.
Wow.
This sounds very, very fun. And I maybe the plan is to get banned as quickly as possible, but like not doing anything overt, like maybe just being so annoying as an NPC. Because I can do a pretty good impersonation of the Skyrim guards. Maybe I should just be a Whiterun guard and see how long it takes for people to get sick of me. I used to be an adventurer like you, then I took an arrow to the knee. Just walk around saying
The
that.
annoying fan.
Hello! Yeah.
Hello. Yes.
Maybe I'll play Grim. I'll make like the worst necromancer.
By Azura.
By Azura. Yeah. That's quite fun. I'll have to have a think about this.
You're
this
the
is impossible.
grand champion.
Your exploits in the arena are legendary. Oh my god. All right. I'm going to get a raid across.
As he's saying all this, as you like push him off a...
Yeah. Fusrodar. All right, let's go and raid Critimus. They're doing their Chronicles of Chaos campaign. I will get that raid across now. Everyone who's watching on YouTube and listening to the podcast, remember to hit the thumbs up, like button, subscribe, comment, whatever the options are. Do it. It really helps us out and helps us tame the YouTube algorithm, which is particularly horrific as of late. Awesome sauce. Thank you so much, everybody. We will see you all again soon. Until then, stay safe, stay well. See you guys later. Bye.
Bye.
See ya.